Hello, welcome in, my feathered friends. I hope this finds you well. We have a very interesting reading I am being guided to do today, so I'm actually pretty excited. Um, I've never done an eclectic read like this, so we will be starting off on the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. And the read we will be doing is the Doors of Wisdom 4 card reading. So we are going to find out the initiation, your fortune, the resistance, that is causing the card that will represent resistance to your initiation. That's kind of maybe making it difficult for the first door to open. And then 4, the destination. And I will go through each one and signify what each card will mean. And then it was an idea that I should grab the Hosho, the Dakini, which is, Hinduism, and then Tao. So I thought this was really, really interesting how this kind of came to me. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to come through, but I have a really good feeling about this. So if you are tuning in, there's something, you're on the cusp of something groundbreaking. I don't know what it is, but I can feel you. I can feel it very strongly. So, I have cleansed the area. This is a very safe space for you to be. The intentions here are to further our spiritual growth, to maybe give you some confirmations, or just some encouragement to something that you already knew. A majority of these messages are things that you already knew. Or that your soul maybe just needed a little reminder of, those key words that can activate things within us. If you know, you know. Okay, so let's get into it. I do have a couple channeled messages from yesterday, and by a couple, I mean, yeah. So, 3, flipping genders. Things come in threes: sun, moon, rising, mind, body, spirit, birth, life, death, first, middle, last. Yeah, the trifecta, trio, triad, 1, 1, 1 equaling 3, also 1 and 1 equaling a third form. Also, something about 3 days and the law of gender. Everything has a gender, so maybe you're looking into the universal laws. Something about something being super rare. I also have the original 2 brothers. I'm not sure. Remember your power and individuality, you magnificent thing. You will blossom. Also, Back to the Future. And something about the first house of self. You could have Aquarius or Capricorn. If you don't, that's fine. There is some confusion. Maybe something that needs a little more rethinking, restructuring, and reevaluating. To bring harmony, because it seems like somebody's light and shadow are coming into union. Your sun and your moon sign are coming together to equal a rising sign. And 2 things bond on an atomic level. The beginning, the start of a new journey. Give yourself permission to not know where you're going. So somebody needs to give themselves permission to not know where you're going. And they want you to stand out. Just go for it. Look how you radiate and inspire. Do what is right for you. There is only one you. And what's coming in threes? I asked the question because I wanted to answer, what is coming in threes? And this is, it's very significant because I did a read yesterday with another set of cards, which is by the same Kim Cross, which is the Archetypes Diamond deck. And every card that came out had a reference to 3. So whoever you are, there's a huge indicator about 3s. I don't know if you're a life path 3. I don't know if a couple things have happened to you in your life and Spirit's trying to let you know that things come in 3s. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. Okay? So with that said, let's get into it. I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited. But also calm and collected and non-attachment or non-attached. Just going with the flow, ready to be in the present moment and see what is offered. and being thankful, not labeling anything good or bad. So let's see what this initiation is. The first door of initiation. This is the first step to take. It must be done before everything else, even if you would rather avoid it. This card may remind you of a person, a situation, a memory, or a dream. And it just popped out. So we have, can we see this? Gold. Gold. A lot of signs there. So this is actually pretty interesting because I'm hearing a lot of references of the alchemical process of lead into gold. And I know that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, turn metal into gold. No, this is spiritual. This is your soul. This is taking things and refining it into a gold state. Wow. Or you could see it. All right, and for your fortune, let's read this fortune, or pull for this fortune. The door of fortune. This is the door you will then be led into. Okay, let me say that again. The door of fortune is the door you will then be led into. Here you will find a new fortune, interest, or boon. Oh my gosh. How is this possible? Okay, iron. I don't know. In my mind, I was thinking lead. So I'm also seeing a square. We have a 3. Come on, guys. Let's just peep this for a second. Do you see that? That 3 right there? It's a funky looking 3, but it is a 3 nonetheless. And Mars. Okay. Okay. We did have the sun over here. Squares in astrology represent tension, but if they are utilized in the right way, they actually become a strength. So you're taking those situations and alchemizing them into something very, an iron. Come on. All right, and the resistance. The door. Whoa. Guys, okay, calm down. Thank you, Spirit. The door of resistance. This is a new depth that will challenge your ego and your willingness to continue. This is ultimately why you may hesitate to take the step card 1 requires. So this is what I was talking about. This will be the resistance, and this is most likely what is making it difficult to take that first step. Okay, let's see. What is this resistance? Mortification. Interesting. I haven't seen this one in quite a while. Huh. And doesn't it look like the circle and the square tried to have a baby? I'm sorry. Okay. The destination, the door of destination. This is a vision of the future possibility. It may be hard to relate to this card now, but eventually, as you take the steps toward it, more will come into focus. For now, it remains elusive, waiting for you. All right, let's see what this destination is. Let's see what the destination is. The Great Serpent, Ouroboros. Disillusion wanted to come out with it, but I only want to take 1. I don't want to complicate things too much, but sometimes, Okay. All right, Spirit, we got enough cards out here, all right? But I do love how everything ends up coming together and my mind ends up getting blown away by the cards and the message that comes through. So, $139. Ooh, and there was iron too. Cool. That makes it easier for me. All right, gold. Illumination, splendor, culmination. The alchemist's gold is no ordinary gold. It is not found in rings or coins or necklaces. It is a substance buried deep within, sometimes referred to as gold of the wise, philosophical gold, the ethereal stone, or the divine quintessence, among countless other names. For our purposes, we seek not the physical metal, but the mystical essence within each alchemist. Ashe. How do we recognize it? It mimics qualities of the metal itself, soft and radiant, and its planetary counterpart, the sun. Warm and bright. It's no wonder gold is associated with the heart. When this card arrives, there is something of incredible value at hand. It is marvelous and rare. Cherish it, get to know it, its properties, and its source. The gold card carries a distinct shadow. If mistaken for a purely physical material, it can lead to greed and excess, causing the alchemists to lose their way. Reverence is the key. So, to ponder every path as a noble path, your gold may be entirely different from someone else's. It is important for the alchemists to respect their own unique journey towards a righteous and resplendent gold. Not gold. In some wisdom traditions, gold is seen as a nectar, a sap, a honey-like substance coming from trees, bees, and even the pineal gland. Open yourself to gold's infinite sources. Okay, so I almost feel like we need to read this resistance card, because whoever you are, you're getting the nectar, your pineal gland, you're secreting, you must have decalcified your pineal gland, or you've done it again, is what I'm also hearing for some of you. So this first step is like allowing your sun to touch you, allowing the sun's energy to touch you, going outside and even opening your palms up to the sun. You're letting light codes into your body, into your irises, which change you. So we're gonna do this in a way that Okay, yes. So that was the door of initiation. Like I said, this is the first step that must be taken. It must be done before anything else, even if you'd rather avoid it. But this is going to remind you of the person, the situation, the memory, or the dream. Wow, this is really deep, guys. Okay, so we're going to jump to number 3 to find out what the resistance is from you taking that first step, and then we'll go into the fortune, and then the destination. Yes, I am not linear, guys. Just so you know. I am not linear. Oh, wow. Okay. I got you. Mortification. That's calcification. I thought, okay. Then I was wrong about that. Sorry, guys. These are numbered quite confusingly. And I also thought mortification was part of the 8 operations, but I was wrong. So, 68? It is part of the 8. Okay, I was right. Trust yourself, Angel. Trust yourself. Oh, gosh. Okay, so somebody could be losing their place. But you're going to find it again. So you might have been distracted from something and pulled away because you thought, but you're going to be going back to it, because that's totally the message I just got from that. Okay, decay and death, decomposition. Something has to die is immediately what I'm getting from this. Okay? 1353. Mortifactio is the great alchemical operation of darkness. What was once composed now decomposes. What was once presentable is now despicable. This stage cannot be avoided. The underworld has taken us into the dark interior of its belly, and here we reside until spring. This is a timeless reading, but we are almost in the middle of spring of 2025. Through the natural process of decay, we descend into the depths we didn't know existed. The alchemist soon finds mortifactio is a stage of regeneration and sacred power, where the soil is fertile and rich. Oh yeah, now I'm getting that volcanic, really nutrient soil that is dense with nutrients. Offering and think of the nourishment is actually in the soil, has a very rich mycelium which connects all of the grid. It has an interconnected, think of the internet but within our planet. This stage cannot be rushed. The darkness must have time to do its work, to dismantle and to loosen, to free us from old scripts and stories. As we learn to surrender to this great operation, the earth churns and wisdom whispers in the dark. She envelops us with grace and the promise of what's to come. So if you want to go deeper, read the Egyptian story of Osiris. Ooh. To ponder, is there anything that does not end? Everything ends. That's why people are like, it's the end times, like the prophecies. They are not wrong. But we are reminded at the first will be last and the last will be first. It is a recycling. It's not going to end. We keep evolving. We keep changing. We keep entering new levels, you know. We're the Mario that jumps on the flag, going to a new world. But we're not really going into a new world. We're opening a new frequency, so we will be able to see the worlds that are actually have been here the whole time. So Halloween is a global celebration of Mortifactio and the underworld. If this card has gotten you down, flip the script. There is a freedom and an expression in every operation. The Mortifactio card relates to the Death card in the Tarot and the Underworld card in the Archetypes deck. It is a universal symbol not to be taken personally. Do not take it personally, please. This is your resistance right now, is the Underworld, your own darkness. I'm also getting that some of it's the darkness of the collective, of the all, and you're seeing the darkness that is part of all of us. But it's not labeling it, it's not attaching to it, and it's also learning that the old ways of being, the old stories, the old persona that you created, or even that society created and gave to you, needs to dismantle. The stories that you've lived up until now, that is not who you actually are. And once you can let go of this identity, this golden nectar is going to be flowing in from the sun. And that is your first step. Okay? I don't know exactly why they put this as the third. But I do like how they correspond it, saying, this is the resistance, but this is the first step. Maybe making a petition, writing in your journal, stating that you are protected, you are guided, you are loved, you are nurtured, and you allow this process to take place. Remember to breathe, okay? Breath is life. Breath is probably one of the most important things you will ever learn to do. And I know from personal experience, when I had my spiritual awakening, one of the first thoughts I had was, they don't even teach us how to breathe properly. People breathe in their chest. You're supposed to breathe with your entire body. If you do this one simple thing, your life will change. Okay, let's move on to iron. So your fortune is magnetism, reliability, and Mars. Iron is a reliable metal that can withstand great pressure. Over the centuries, we have come to utilize this metal extensively, mixing it with carbon to create the steel bridges, highways, and infrastructures that span across the globe. In alchemy, iron is associated with the planet Mars and shares its qualities of being strong, assertive, and potentially warlike. When the iron card appears, there is a call to rely only on the reliable. What truly supports you? What have you already built? Iron dwells at the center of Earth. So when all else feels lost, go inward. There is a deep magnet there that pulls you toward what is steady and true. For the moment, put your words and weapons down and let yourself be held in the structure that is already in place. To ponder, iron in your bloodstream. And if you want to go a little deeper, read about the war Ogun, known as the god of iron in African mythology. I actually did not know that. If you want to take a little screenshot, I don't know if you can see that very well, but I am trying here with my lighting, guys, so bear with me. All right. Watch for planetary pairings between all the metals and planet cards. Iron and Mars appearing in one reading indicates a great conflict looming. Well, we did not get that, so there's no conflict. In esoteric wisdom traditions, Mars and iron are associated with the gallbladder. It may be time to contemplate what can be broken down and what must remain. So, This is the fortune breaking down what must remain. You are doing that. That is, I mean, you're resistant to it right now, but if you open that door, if you admit to yourself that there is something that obviously needs to be broken down and go through the process of decay, so that what is left is your magnetism, you know, refining those metals, refining your soul to where you only have this golden nectar. All right, let's look at your destination for the Ouroboros, the Great Serpent. We are already at 20 minutes. I don't know if I should put all of this in one reading. I don't know. We're going to find out. All right, so the Ouroboros, and I know I had it right over here. There we go. The Tail Eater, the Guardian, Quantum Realm. Ooh, who am I talking to? Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. The Ouroboros is the all-encompassing glyph of the alchemical process. The hungry snake bends itself around you in a gesture of protection and guardianship, giving you the space and safety to participate in the work. Anything and everything can be offered into its mouth for transformation. Good, bad, blasphemous, or precious. The materials of your life transmute into gems along the great serpent's spine. Along with your woos, and the Ouroboros engulfs every pair of opposites. What is masculine becomes feminine. Oh my God. What did I say? Okay, sorry. Mind blowing. Guys, what did I put? Flipping genders. Flipping genders. Put this yesterday, by the way. Just so you know. Okay. So the masculine becomes the feminine. What is sky becomes earth. What is past becomes future. When this card appears, you have entered the quantum realm. Everything is a possibility. No one knows the limits of the Ouroboros. Just when you fell into thinking that your life was straightening out, the snake takes you once again into its gaping mouth for an entirely new trajectory. Ooh, to ponder the iris encircling your pupil. If you want to go deeper, look at the 1889 etchings of Die Cincinnati Sensuality by Frankel's. If you want to screenshot it and look a little deeper, maybe there's a rabbit hole for you with some secret little codes. This card runs in tandem with the Rotatio card. It both appears in one reading. You are certainly caught in a loop, perhaps even a hamster wheel. No, we don't have that, so you're not caught in a loop. Note that the Great Serpent eats itself, not others. The work starts and ends. First will be last, and last will be first. Starts and ends, endings and beginnings with the alchemists themselves. Through this remembrance, the alchemist learns to serve the world. Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So you're turning your life, your journey, once this decay, once these processes, the resistance is overcome, you're willing to look at the deep depths. You're going to experience this nectar, this gold, which is refining into magnetism, magnetizing exactly what it is you want, you need on your journey, and you're learning that you're going to share this with people. I feel like this is something your soul has always wanted to do. And all of these circumstances that maybe were unfavorable, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for those situations because they made me who I am. Yeah, you're entering some kind of quantum realm. So don't be, don't judge it. I don't feel like you would. But with the flipping of genders and things going upside down, your world will seem upside down because this is an upside down world. The things that they tell us are good for us are in fact not. And the things that they say are not real, don't exist, blah, 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 they actually do. And those things would actually help and benefit us. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but just know when you go through this type of experience, it's okay. Because yes, the male will seem female, the female will seem male. And it's really funny because I see a lot of masculine energy and a lot of people, but it's almost like females are in the male bodies and the males are in the female bodies, because I know that I have 70% masculine in my chart. and healing those masculine wounds has been a pretty huge obstacle. So I don't know if anybody else can relate to that kind of situation or have noticed anything like that in the collective, but please share. Please share. All right, so I'm going to get, I don't think I'm going to pull a card for each and every single one. But for, okay, so from the Tao deck, Tao Oracle, I'm going to get one here for your destination. Ooh, really? Mortification? Are you sure? Okay. That's not what I would have done, but okay. Innocence. A trusting nature, originality, spontaneity, open-heartedness, simplicity, the unexpected. For decay. Something is going to be burned away to where only your innocence is left. Can you guys see this? Okay, let me move it up a little bit. Wow. So something happened. I think I have a clear picture in my mind. I just, you know, with what we're allowed to speak on, I feel like this was you as a baby. And something was taken. Yeah, something was taken from you as a child. You went through some kind of experience, and it seems like Spirit, your higher self, wants to burn this away because it's a resistance that is keeping you from moving forward on your path. Okay, can I get now one for the Great Serpent for the destination, please? Modesty, moderation, humility, keep it simple, lack of pretension, self-respect, sincerity, respectability. So, when you... Thank you, Spirit. When you convert, when you go through all these stages and you realize the process, this beautiful journey and all the gems, that you have transmuted these situations that were probably not as favorable as people would like to label them, right? But you've turned them into gems because you realize this whole thing was for a reason. It was giving you the full spectrum of your rainbow body. And here I even see a beautiful rainbow in all of these flowers. But it's modesty. It's learning that moderation is key. Nothing is inherently good or bad. Moderation is key. Again, there's going to be, I just heard, oh, well, what about blah, blah, blah. Okay. If you're not causing harm to yourself or others, that's what I am speaking of. Moderation is key. You're learning to have more respect for yourself. And by doing so, you're able to move in a very respectable humility kind of way. Like, you don't really care if others are like, oh my God, can you believe what she's doing? Because you know yourself, you know your path. And you know that if you keep it simple, everything's going to work out for you. And there's, again, that green. There's a lot of green here. It's like you are going to be completely working from your heart because this childlike wonder, this childlike innocence is being given back to you. Wow. Okay. Okay. Increase at the bottom of the deck. Sharing, reaping rewards, overflow, expansion, flowering, encouragement, fertile ground. There's that fertile ground again, that nutrients. You hold a lot of fertility in you, in abundance. I'm also seeing the lightning bolt and water. So it's like fire and water or electricity and magnetism. So you're bringing the divine masculine and feminine into union within yourself even further. Even further. All right. Where are we at? 29. 1 second, guys. Oh, that tastes so yummy. All right. So we will move on to Osho Zen. danburite. Very high vibrational stone. I also really love it because when you hold it up to the light, you can see little pockets of iridescent rainbows. Very beautiful. All right, let's get one here for gold. Command the truth. Our best and highest good, please, and thank you. The dream. Oh my gosh, and this talks about the dream, the first position. Hold on. Hold up, wait a minute. Don't go there because I ain't with it. The first step to take, it must be done before everything else, even if you would rather avoid it. This card may remind you of a person, a situation, a memory, or a dream. A dream. I do believe this is the Six of Water. So kind of like the Six of Cups, but this is also not. Wow, do you see that? Do you see the couple? It's like you could be alone and you've always dreamt of having your counterpart or something. And this is also a union of like masculine and feminine within the self. Blue roses could be significant. Guys, this is big. This is really big. Okay. Oh, that's too many. And iron. Iron. Oops. Iron. Iron. Come on, we need to flip out, Spirit. You know how I work. You know how I work. Alright, that works. Adventure. Ooh. So this is like the Child of Pentacles, I believe. So adventure, again, that rainbow portal, you're refining things. Because with iron, you know, they beat out the impurities. This is your fortune, is the impurities, the decay, allowing it to be gone so this nectar can come in for this dream, for this adventure that you're going on. I mean, it did even say over here, you know, there's a quantum aspect, a quantum realm. Going into the upside down realm. I'm getting chills everywhere. The rebels at the bottom, which is the Emperor. Again, breaking chains. The eagle, the falcon, the hawk could be significant. And the torch. Realizing that the torch has been passed to you. You are this timeline, this era, this generation's I don't want to say conqueror, but you're a conqueror over yourself. You're a conqueror over all the lower natures that were in your chakras. You have become a master of yourself is what I'm getting. Wow, that was deep. That was deep, Spirit. All right, let's get, yeah, I will do that. I will do that. I'm going to move these up, actually. If you guys can still see that, please. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. Ew! Excuse me. Okay. As long as we can all still see it. Right? Okay. Cool. So mortification. Mortification. This decay is going into the underworld. Stress. Yeah. There is something that's been stressing you out, and it's an old storyline that needs to go. Oh, this is reminding me of Dance Monkey Dance. Great song. Dance Monkey. So maybe you had a belief. The old storyline that was passed to you, you know, from our society, and what you believed was going to give you what you wanted was, oh, you need to dance, you need to do this for everybody, you need to do that for everybody, you need to be, this is the only way to be successful, and this is the only way that you can get ahead, and this is causing so much stress, because you're like, oh my god, I have to do this, and I have to do that, blah, 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 blah. In reality, this needs to be burned away because this is false. This is not a way to live. This has caused disease in the body. Oh, yes. Okay. Spirit reminded me of the innocence card. There is a stress to almost adulting, and that you shouldn't be this beautiful, innocent. But this is what's going to get you back to your childlike innocence, is letting go of the stress and the perception of who you're supposed to be. Just give it away. Give it to your light team. Give it to the universe and say, you know, once you acknowledge that things aren't flowing and that there is a resistance, there is a block within your subconscious, within the underworld, within this part of you, and admitting to yourself, there is something blocking me. And even if you don't know what it is, ask for it to be revealed so this dream, this nectar, this initiation can take place. I'm also getting that this lingering event that happened to you when you were a child that maybe made it feel like it took your innocence is still there. It is still there, but it could be cloaked or hidden a little bit by the darkness that was put on your path. And again, you're going to take that and you're going to transmute it and you're going to create gems, and it's going to flip your world upside down, and you're going to realize, wow, I respect the crap out of myself. I'm not going to, when people want to make fun of me, it's almost like you're being built for adversity almost. Not in a sense of like, oh, you're going to have a lot of adversity, but when it does come, you're going to keep things simple, and you're going to remember the gems, and you're going to remember things don't have to be so stressful. You don't have to take things so seriously, because look at this beautiful child. You know, your dream of being whole and being one and refining all of your skills and being able to go on this adventure. Gosh, who are you? Congratulations. You need to know how amazing you really are. This is like, my whole back of my head is tingling right now on the right side. You have really worked on yourself. This is a lot of work. What's out on this table right now is a lot of work. All right, Spirit, let's get one more for this Ouroboros for the destination. Yeah. Deep breath, Angel. Deep breath. Moment to moment. Look at all of this rainbow energy, and it's here on your destination. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but goosebumps everywhere. And it's so cool how it's underneath your fortune and your destination. Moment to moment. Look at you being so present, so childlike. I don't care what kind of vessel you're in. I don't care if you're 90 years old. I don't care if you're 12 years old. You are in your childlike wonder, taking every moment by moment, enjoying every step. Look, his steps are intentional. Intentional. I'm going to read that one. I feel like the dream and the moment to moment. Okay? Should we do the dream one first? I can. Sure. The dream. Some enchanted evening, you're going to meet your soulmate, the perfect person who will meet all of your needs and fulfill all of your dreams, right? Wrong. This fantasy that songwriters and poets are so fond of perpetuating has its roots in memories of the womb. Ooh. The womb, man. Okay. Shh, Angel. The womb, where we were so secure and at one with our mothers. It's no wonder we have hankered to return to that place all our lives. But to put it quite brutally, it is a childish dream. And it's amazing we hang on to it so stubbornly in the face of reality. Nobody, whether it's your current mate or dreamed of partner in the future has any obligation to deliver your happiness on a platter, nor could they even if they wanted to. Real love comes not from trying to solve our neediness, but by depending on another, or trying to solve our neediness by depending on another, but by developing our own inner richness and maturity. Then we have so much love to give that we naturally draw lovers towards us. Ooh. And that's that magnetism. That magnetism from the iron. Okay? Ooh. Okay. This has been said again and again down through the ages. All the religious people have been saying it. We come alone into this world, we go alone. All togetherness is illusionary. The very idea of togetherness arises because we are alone, and the aloneness hurts. We want to drown our aloneness in relationship. That's why we become so much involved in love. Try to see the point. Ordinarily, you think you have fallen in love with a woman or with a man because she is beautiful, he is beautiful. That is not the truth. The truth is just the opposite. You have fallen in love because you cannot be alone. You are going to fall. You are going to avoid yourself somehow or another. Or somehow or other. And there are people who don't fall in love with women or men. Then they fall in love with money. They start moving into money or into a power trip. They become politicians. That too is avoiding your aloneness. If you watch yourself deeply, you will be surprised. All your activities can be reduced to one single source. The source is that you are afraid of your aloneness. Everything else is just an excuse. The real cause is that you find yourself very alone. Okay, this is what I'm getting, guys. Through this mortification, the resistance of the stress and stuff, I'm seeing it linked also to, it's talking about the womb, becoming separate from the mother, becoming your own individual source, because that's what this reality is about, is expressing your own unique individuality with the energies that you were blessed with when you were born, right? And this decay, it's about to burn away your neediness to be with somebody else. Be alone. Be alone so this can burn away and you can experience this nectar, because let me tell you, it's one of the best experiences you're going to have in your entire life. I don't care. Think of the if who I'm talking to is really hung up on actually being with a person because you don't like being alone, think of the most wonderful relationship and experience you've had with another person on a romantic level. Now times that by infinity. And I'm not joking. Or 1,000. Something that seems absolutely absurd. Because when you accept your oneness, when you accept aloneness, it allows the union within yourself to take place. When you decide to marry yourself, when you decide to love yourself, you will be walking on air. You will be walking on water, on all the emotions. Just like with, they say Yeshua walking on water. You will rise above the emotions and the deep subconscious that keeps people drowning in their own misery. Wow. But this must be let go, okay? Yes, there is an original mother wound. I mean, if you think about it, if the one wanted to experience itself, it had to separate. And that is the initial, birthing, the divine mother giving birth to the divine father. Separate, from the void, from the divine feminine, birthing the light, birthing the divine father, which is where we experience this beautiful existence. But a lot of people forget about the mother. You can see the imbalance within our structure everywhere, from the plants that they plant with the masculine, and then there's no feminine trees to catch the pollen, and everybody is experiencing these intense allergies, and they're wondering why. Because there's such an imbalance. Even with religious texts, it's always about him. That's great. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but people need to remember the divine mother. And the divine feminine is slowly coming online. And the more people resist it, the more difficult it's going to be. So, with that said, what I see for whoever this reading is for is that you are about to step into one of the most abundant, prosperous, magical times of your life. But making a petition, allowing this to take place, allowing this to dissolve, allowing the stress or the old scripts and the old storylines to dissolve, so that this nectar, so that this, while being alone and loving on yourself and realizing the dream was always a love that the storylines they tell you here aren't even real. That is not what true love is. True love is loving yourself so unconditionally, refining everything within yourself and remembering who you are. Going on that adventure and enjoying every moment to moment, and finding somebody else that ends up going into that alchemical process within themselves. They have married spirit. They have married their higher self. And that is what makes a power couple. That is what makes a true relationship. And it could take years. But will it be worth it? Absolutely. All right. That was deep. Let me... I'm going to read one more. Where's the rainbow? Rainbow. Okay. The past is no more and the future not yet. Both are unnecessarily moving in directions which don't exist. One used to exist but no longer exists, and one that has not even started to exist. The only right person is one who lives moment to moment, whose arrow is directed to the moment, who is always here and now. Wherever he is, his whole consciousness, his whole being is involved in the reality of here and in the reality of now. That's the only right direction. Only such a man can enter into the golden gate. Oh my God. The present is the golden gate. Here and now is the golden gate. And you can be in the present only if you are not ambitious, no accomplishment, no desire to achieve power, money, prestige, even enlightenment, because all ambition leads you into the future. Only a non-ambitious man can remain in the present. A man who wants to be in the present has not to think, has just to see and enter the gate. Experience will come, but experience has not to be premeditated. Wow. Okay. So, keeping it simple, staying in the present moment, not thinking of what can be gained from something. Somebody is learning the process. Somebody is truly, what is the process that comes after? Coagulating. It's like it's taking form and it's solidifying in somebody to where they're no longer allowing the scripts and what people are saying, oh, this is the right way to do it. Dance, monkey, dance. Like, let's see if they're going to follow this advice or this advice. Are they going to start listening to themselves and accept this aloneness so that they can go on, refine their energies and go on to this big adventure and live moment to moment and keeping it simple? And just enjoying the magic. And let me tell you, when you can live in the present moment, when you can stay in this present moment, everything will look like a gem. Nothing will be labeled good or bad. Period. Wow. Spirit. Whew. I feel so blessed to have read your energy today. Because you are a fighter, you are a warrior, and you believe in love and believe and love yourself tremendously. But this has been very difficult, separating and refining these energies from what is false and what is real. But you're doing a phenomenal job. I did. I felt something. All right. I was going to end it there, but something said to pull from here really quick. So we're just going to see. We're just going to see what Spirit's trying to lay out for us. I thought we had one more. Oh, we do. The Dakini. I'll pull one from there. How about that? I do like the Dakini. New moon. We did just have a new moon. So maybe that... Ooh, and I just threw this on here. So maybe you asked for this on the new moon. Or if you're watching this and a new moon is about to take place, this is something I would petition for. Ask for all the false scripts. Anything that doesn't belong to you or something that you need to be shown in the underworld to confront, allow it to come in. Remember to meditate, remember to breathe and connect to your breath. You can do it. But sit by yourself. Sit alone. Do you see this? Alone, 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 alone. Over here, it's stress because you're around a bunch of all these monkeys that want you to dance for them and prove who you are. And you're already enough. You were born enough. There is nothing for you to prove except loving and accepting yourself. And then meditate. What did I just say? Yeah, because you're shadow. Okay. Yep. That's what I'm taking. Focus. Focus. And tell the universe exactly what you need it to do for you, okay? It loves you and it wants to give you anything and everything that you want. But it depends on your thought process. It depends on where your energy is flowing and the shadow is coming in, okay? So meditate on it. Allow it to be released for this new beginning. You have some really potent energy because I can feel it in my gut. Okay. So I'm going to pull one from here and we're going to find out, I will roll the dice to find out what area, and these are different chakras than what the typical that we are taught. So I will be going off of this, which is the tree of life, but in Hinduism. And yeah, I will roll the dice and it will tell me the position, and then I'll be able to, wouldn't that be funny if it landed on Dream, to give you a more precise location. Okay, I'd rather do that, Spirit. What's coming in for them? I just heard that, I need to actually ask what you should be focused, or where your attention needs to go right now. Okay? Which fulfilling gem? You've got to be kidding me right now. Number 6. We have 6 here. 6. Okay. All right. Wish fulfilling gem. Come on. We were just talking about the gems over here. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So I will roll to find out which area this is for. 10? Oh my God. Outer space moon. That's the very top. Which is Shiva and Shakti. Oh, which is the male and female. I'm telling you, somebody's going to experience gold once they let go of these old scripts and this stress that society is placing on them of who they should be. I'm telling you, oh my God. Oh my God, I love this. I love this. Thank you, Spirit Man. All right, which fulfilling gem bears the number 6, signifying harmony, the balanced blend of intellect and emotion? Ooh, the air and the water. Okay. The head and the heart. It is the number of the 6th sense and the entry into the world of fulfillment. Relates to the lovers of the tarot. From the tranquil lake of bottomless quietude, the wish-fulfilling gem rises up. Within its multifaceted form, the all-good Buddha, Samantabhadra, and his female counterpart, Samantabhadri, are seated. In this male-female tantric aspect, they represent the non-dual perfect Buddhahood of peaceful compassion. The emanations from this mystic form are like the rainbow hues of the white light refracted from the facets of a diamond. Wow. The glyph is crowned with a smaller version of itself, which is reflected in the water below. The whole forms a double mystic scepter. Okay, sorry, they spelled that weird. Scepter. Vajra, suggesting the unlimited nature of this essence principle as projected on the mind sky of inner space. This card depicts divine love in its most sacred and benign aspect, the resolution of all dualities. So the divinatory... All right, the meaning of this card is the most potent boon card of the deck. Oh my God, and we saw something earlier about a boon. the boon. Hold on one second. Yes, the door of fortune. Because this is the door you will take that will lead, the door you will then be led into. Here you will find a new fortune, interest, or boon. So this card is the most potent boon card of the deck. It may also be interpreted as the fulfillment of a wish, though the emphasis is on the mystic rather than the worldly. Oh, hey! Congratulations. On the lowest level, it may be just good luck. And on the spiritual level, in the heart or head, it indicates deep metaphysical development, maturation, and the fruit of endeavor. Much can be gained from concentrated meditation on this card. The father and mother of all Buddhas. Divine Mother and Father, I love you so much, by the way. Imagine the light within the jewel of the self, and then place oneself within. Visualize the effulgent emanations of light. So like infinite, I guess. Feel the compassionate essence. In the chart of the tree of life as a subtle body, the mystic form of the all-good Buddha and his consort is depicted above the moon of the head center. Since this is the traditional location according to Tantra, this indicates the evolutionary archetypal ancestor of the human spirit to which we must all ultimately return. The card tells of spiritual guidance and ultimate realization. It indicates a coming into balance and harmony. Yeah, there's not even... Usually it'll indicate for each number, each position on the tree, it will have a different meaning for the card. Man, I'm so flabbergasted right now with this read and whoever you are, because the work you're doing on yourself, and you're doing this alone. I mean, even with these tantric positions, like, you're coming into one, into union with yourself, with the divine, with all of creation. It even says this is in the head and the heart. This is gold. As soon as this is dealt with, as soon as you meditate and you deal with this shadow, not deal, but spend some time with the shadow. Spend this time in the underworld and really pull out these gems and realize what you went through was actually a blessing. All of it. Every single moment. And with that, I love you guys. I love you so much. And to see this for you is heartwarming, and I am very grateful and blessed to have read your energy. I love you. The universe loves you, and everything's working out for your best and your highest good. And until next time, guys, peace.